he expects you to drive and spend your gas money and all this kind of stuff to come see him, and he's looking fly, but he is not investing in you. The fact that I can embrace my femininity means so much to me. Like, I can't even explain, like, not having to, like I said, I was a single mom for 2.5 years. We're talking about creating magic in this world, not just in the four walls of your home, but even outside, the impact that you can create. And this is power coupling. This is power coupling. It's what you can do, and how much like, not just even outside the four walls of your home, but like how you can work in harmony together to create an amazing human being, a well-rounded, beautiful, empathetic, kind, compassionate human being. Okay? It goes so much deeper than just like, I want love, I want to experience love in my life. It goes so much deeper than that. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to talk about vetting. I want to talk about power coupling. I want to talk about the masculine energy and the feminine energy in that dynamic and how they work in harmony together. So if you're interested in a video like that, please keep watching. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm so excited for this video because we are talking about power coupling. We are talking about vetting, which is so important when it comes to establishing that kind of dynamic, a power coupling dynamic. And so yeah, that's what I want to talk about in this video. Now, I've done several videos on power coupling and how masculine energy and feminine energy, when they come together, they create magic, and how they work in harmony together. And so I would suggest and recommend checking out all those videos as well. But I do want to cover a little bit about that in this video as well, because it's interesting, and this is kind of why I wanted to do this video, is that I saw a TikTok. I'm on TikTok a lot, but I did see a TikTok of a girl, and she was talking about feminine energy. And she was like, I hate when people are talking about feminine energy and femininity and making it about the man. And it's not about the man. It's not about the man at all. Which she is right in some aspects, I feel. But here's the thing. When it comes to creation, we need masculine energy as well. And so I encourage people to explore their feminine energy, their femininity for themselves, yes. But don't disregard masculine energy or masculinity in your outside world as well. Like, they work in harmony together. We need each other. We complement each other. We are made to complement each other. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be in relationship and that kind of thing. So I just want to put that out there. And so also, I just want to say, if you do not desire to be in a relationship, if you do not desire to be in a power coupling dynamic where one person is embracing their femininity and the other person's embracing their masculinity, this ain't the video for you, sister, okay, or brother. No. And so yeah, so that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Here's the thing, like, you can be and do whatever it is you wish, you can do, and you can desire whatever it is that you want. Now, oftentimes people are like, you don't need this, you don't need that, and stuff like that. That's cool for you. But don't come over here saying that kind of stuff to me, because we're talking about power coupling. We're talking about being the best versions of ourselves on this channel. And we're also talking about healthy, beautiful, incredible relationships as well. So that's another thing that we're talking about when it comes to manifesting ourselves, manifesting our reality. And in our reality, relationships are a huge part of that, okay? You can't say that when it comes to manifesting that relationships have nothing to do with it, because even if we're like manifesting certain things, it has something to do with relating to other people in some capacity. And I've talked about the laws of nature, and you see how masculine energy and feminine energy work in harmony together in nature. This is law. This is how we are made to be. And so there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, we're going to talk about the love tool, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But I also want to say, I did this. This is something that I did for my life because I wanted a certain dynamic in my life. When I was dating, I was a single mom for about 2.5 years, okay? Glad I'm not there. But I was a single mom for about 2.5 years. And during that time, it was a very explorative, I think that's the word, time for me. But I don't regret it, because I used that time, the experience that I gained, the knowledge that I gained from that experience, is a better way to put it, to really get clear on what it is that I truly wanted and desired for my life. And ultimately, I wanted a dynamic, a power coupling dynamic, where I could embrace my femininity and my partner embrace his masculinity. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted for my life. So I intended for my life, and that's the life that I live right now. And so, like I said, power coupling is when you understand your roles. Now, that will look different and be manifested differently for each individual couple. You can have, like I said, you can have and be and do whatever it is that you desire. But I do think it's important to understand the laws of physics, the laws of nature, and how things work. And it's a matter of working with nature and working alongside and parallel with nature and how things typically work. In successful relationships that feel really good, one person typically is more in their feminine energy and the other person's more in their masculine energy. And it works. I mean, you just understand roles. Those roles can look different depending on what it is you truly desire, and those are all negotiable. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And so, like I said, I was there. I had to get clear on what it is I truly wanted. And so I encourage you, if you are in a position where you still are exploring, definitely take your time. If that's what you want. I wasn't about that life, even though I was a single mom for 2.5 years, which is a lot longer than I thought I would be. But it is a great it is a great opportunity to explore and see what feels good to you and understand what it is that you truly desire for your life. And so now we're going to talk about the love tool, the likely one vetting evaluation tool. And so if that's something that you desire, if you desire that your partner embraces more of his masculinity, I want to talk about some categories in which you should be vetting for. Because oftentimes I feel like people are like, I don't know what to look for. I don't know how to vet. I don't know what are red flags, and I don't know what is a telltale sign that he's a provider and he's in his masculine, he's a leader, and these kind of things. And so that's what I want to talk about in this video. So we're going to talk about 3 categories in the love tool. The likely one vetting evaluation, which will be on the website at amberreturner.com. That's actually launching in June. So it hasn't launched yet, but definitely look out for it, because we'll also have other things alongside this tool that are amazing for vetting, especially if you have a pool of suitors, which I suggest if you're not rotationally dating, if you do not have a roster, if you do not have a pool, you need one, girlfriend. Please get a pool. It is so important, really. And why is it important? Like, I'll go off on this tangent for a little bit, but we as women, we often get so emotionally attached to one person. That's just how we are. We get emotionally invested and attached to one person that we ignore the red flags, or we ignore our standards, we ignore the boundaries that we have, or things like that. We ignore our desires, we ignore a lot of things. And so it's really important to really to have a pool. And when I was dating, I did it like it was my job. Yes, I worked it like it was my job. And so some of the tools that we'll be coming out with, which is one is going to be a diary. A diary. I'm laughing because this diary is going to be really important, because it's going to help you keep track of your pool. Because sometimes we can forget names, we can forget, get confused about what their occupations are, and things like that, especially if you are really serious about getting married. And I personally was very serious. I was completely serious. Like I said, I worked it like it was my job. And so the diary will definitely be helpful in really evaluating too when it comes to your pool of potentials. But the L.O.V.E tool, the likely one vetting evaluation tool, is going to help you in ensuring that he is a good potential. Now this is like, is he a good potential? So we're using vetting strategies to ensure that to ensure a more power coupling dynamic. And I say power coupling as it is an active thing, because power coupling is, we're talking about feminine and masculine energy. And so energy is alive, it is moving. And I always do this because it's always moving, it works in harmony together. And so you have to look at it as a living thing. I've never looked at my relationship, especially my current relationship, as something that is just black and white. It's always living, we're always adjusting, our energies and things like that. That's life, that's life. And so life is living. And so you have to look at your power coupling dynamic as a living thing, right? Our energy is always moving and adjusting. So you definitely have to look at it in that way. And so, so going back to the L.O.V.E tool, we're going to talk about in this video 3 categories in which you should be vetting for. The first category is future oriented. Is he future oriented? The second category is financial fitness and provision. And the third category is emotional intelligence and maturity. And these are things that you should be looking for while dating, okay? Not after you're committed or married, but while dating, okay? And so future oriented. Now, I want to talk about this because I found this really important when I was dating, because, let me take a drink first. Because the thing was, I did find potentials living in the past, and they like to continue friendships with exes and, you know, that kind of thing. They always talked about the past. They were never like thinking about the future, asking me about my future, talking about their future. It was always things that happened in the past, keeping up with exes and things like that. And so when it comes to wanting someone that's going to be a suitable potential for marriage, this is where we're going to vet, right? We're talking about, is he talking about future planning? Is he future oriented? Is he talking about what he sees his future looks like, or what his future looks like? Is he concerned about your future and your goals and what you wish to accomplish in the future? If not, that is something you should be considering, right? Because if he's talking, he's got to be friends, because I had someone, he's got to be friends with his exes. Not with me. And that was a boundary for me. But that also will speak to his living in the past, not being future oriented, not moving forward in his life. He's still so attached to the past. Like, I know some people think differently about the whole exes thing, but you have to think about it in that way. It's like, why are you not moving forward? Like, moving forward, you're so attached to the past, and all you talk about is your glory days in the past. But what about the future? What is your vision? And that's another thing with masculinity. What is your vision? Okay, what do you see for your future? You have to look at that. And so the next category I want to talk about that I feel like is really, really important, especially when it comes to a power coupling dynamic, is financial fitness and provision. Now, this is really important. Financial fitness and being secure, financially secure, is really important. If you see that he spends, okay, so one potential that I dealt with, loved to spend money on sneakers. And that was about it. Didn't really talk about investing, didn't talk about future planning as far as like things like that, having a home, things like that, but sneakers. I would say that that's a sign of when it comes to vetting, that he might not be financially fit. Now, also, is he spending all his money on himself and not investing in you? He expects you to drive and spend your gas money and all this kind of stuff to come see him, and he's looking fly, but he is not investing in you. Now, why is this important, especially when it comes to finances? Men are really attached to finances, their financials. Like, women, not so much. We're more like appearance, in which men are more attractive and more visual, and so that's why we put a lot of emphasis on our appearance. Whereas women want to feel safe and secure, and so that's why men often put a lot of emphasis on their finances. But if he's not willing to be generous and invest in you, that is saying something about how he views you, okay? So there's another thing that you have to look out for. So when it comes to vetting, financial fitness and provision is really, really important. That's a category on the L.O.V.E tool. Another the last category we're going to talk about in this video when it comes to the L.O.V.E tool is emotional intelligence and maturity. Now, obviously, this is really important. Personally, I am not a fan of a man that's always talking about his emotions and how he feels. That can be a real turn off, because you might think that it speaks to his emotional intelligence. However, if he is always wearing his emotions on his sleeve, and you're always having to cater to his emotions and walk on eggshells, that might be a sign of his emotional immaturity. Okay? He might be emotionally immature. Like, these kind of things. Now, also along the same lines, I want to say this too, because I noticed this in my own experience, is that men that are often attached to their phone, where they are constantly texting you and texting you back quickly, you might think that that's a good thing, okay? A lot of people think that, oh, he's quick with the text messages and that's a good thing. Girlfriend, it's not. Girlfriend, it's not. Can I say that again? It is not a good thing when he is so attached to his phone and he cannot be alone and he doesn't have anything that going on for himself. He doesn't have a life outside of that phone. It is not a good sign. And typically what I've seen when it comes to the constant on his phone, constant texting, constant, like, just real quick with the text messaging, is that it's because he can't be alone with himself. And that also speaks to your emotional intelligence. When you are numbing your emotions and always with numbing mechanisms, being constantly on your phone, being constantly on social media. Personally, I wouldn't want a man that's constantly on social media. You know, that can speak to emotional intelligence as well, because if if men are on social media a lot, that's something to be said with maybe some insecurity. Maybe they need validation or something like that. Whereas emotionally stable and mature people can put their phones down. They can operate without a constant stimulation, okay? So there's some vetting to be said. So in the love tool, we'll talk about a lot of these things to look for when it comes to emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. But these are things that you should be vetting for, because it speaks to what kind of partner he will be. So yeah, I really wanted to share these 3 categories. These are just 3 of the categories that are going to be on the love tool. Things to consider, things to look for when vetting for a potential partner, especially if you desire a coupling dynamic. These are really important. You know, I think that, oftentimes when we are starting to take relationships seriously, we have gone through a journey. Let's just say that we have gone through a journey. We've either encountered toxicity, unhealthy relationships and things like that. And so taking it a little more serious and incorporating these tools will definitely help you in having a healthy, emotionally stable relationship that is incredible. Because at the end of the day, we want incredible. Like, why not? You can, like I said, you can be and do anything. And part of manifesting is manifesting incredible, like fantastic, wonderful, all of these amazing things. Like, we don't want just mediocre. We want an amazing relationship. And so it really takes us becoming clear on what it is we desire and what that looks like. And like I said, when it comes to nature, you see how harmonious nature is. And you can see feminine and masculine energy working in harmony together. You see it. And I keep saying this on my channel, when it comes to creating a child, you see masculine energy, the egg, you see masculine energy and feminine energy create magic, create life. And so we can see that in so many different things in life. You can see that in relationship. You see a beautiful, peaceful home, a beautiful, amazing, incredible family, and the things that creates. It's amazing. So power coupling is someone who embraces their feminine energy, their femininity, and the other person embracing their masculinity and their masculine energy to create magic in this world. So there's a saying that goes something like, or there's a song, it's who sings that song? I forget. But it's like, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. We can do so much more together. We are made to complement each other. We can do so much more together than we can apart. And we're talking about impact in this world. We're talking about, inventions. We're talking about creating magic in this world. Not just in the 4 walls of your home, but even outside, the impact that you can create. And this is power coupling. This is power coupling. It's what you can do and how much, like, not just even outside the four walls of your home, but like how you can work in harmony together to create an amazing human being, a well-rounded, beautiful, empathetic, kind, compassionate human being. Okay. It goes so much deeper than just like, I want love, I want to experience love in my life. It goes so much deeper than that. And so that's why I'm such a big proponent for power coupling. I'm such a big proponent on family and like healthy, non-toxic relationships. I'm so passionate about it because it goes so much deeper than we know. Like, I see it in my children, right? I see it in my children, how he brings something and I bring something that is impacting them in a positive, beautiful, amazing way. Okay. So I do want to share that. So the Love tool will be on amberreturner.com. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. We also have some great things coming down the pipeline. We got the Get Your Man in Less Than a Year planner that's coming up. If you do not know my story, how I was able to transform my life in less than a year, girlfriend, let's do it. So that is coming. The Glow Up planner. We got the Become Softer planner as well, because for me personally, living a more softer life was definitely something that I desired, and I live a so much more softer life, and it comes from my partner mostly. I mean, he has really not only like is amazing to as amazing father to our family, but to me as well. He provides for me and takes care of me and allows me to really embrace my femininity, which I'm so like, the fact that I can embrace my femininity means so much to me. Like, I can't even explain, like, not having to, like I said, I was a single mom for 2.5 years and having to hustle and do and a lot of that kind of stuff. Even though I am a big proponent that you can mainly be in your feminine energy, even as a single mom, it's tough though. It's tough. And he has allowed me to live a more softer life, which I'm so incredibly thankful and grateful for. And so those things are coming. And like I said, and also we have the Fearless Muscle, which is coming, launching June 23rd. Super excited for that. It's about overcoming fear. It's my children's book that is based on my daughter's story. And I'm really, really excited for that. The audio version of that book is coming. So definitely check that out. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I've been there. I understand. These tools will definitely help you in vetting and establishing a more power coupling dynamic, especially even if you're already in a relationship. You can always change that dynamic as well. That's very, very possible. So anyways, guys, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely visit me at amberreturner.com, and I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.